Hello and welcome to Moviefone. Welcome to Moviefone, TV's Black History Month Spotlight. Find it, watch it. Coleman Domingo and director George C. Wolfe shine a spotlight on the forgotten architect of the historic March on Washington in the biographical drama Rustin.
Who was that?
The famous spy Rustin.
In 41, you called for a large-scale march. The time has come for another.
Nobody.
Bayard Rustin was openly gay at a time when, I think that, they didn't want him to be the face of a movement in many ways. Yet he was very much the architect of the March on Washington.
History can be very brutal. It will choose who it's going to shine a light on and then ignore many other people. And it's really a shame that it happened to somebody like Bayard, who was so instrumental in the organizing this monumental event and doing so in 8 weeks' time.
We are going to put together the largest peaceful protest made up of angelic troublemakers such as yourselves.
I became familiar with him because I helped to create a museum in Atlanta called the Center for Civil and Human Rights. And in doing that, in all my research, I focused on him in a very intense way.
He came across my mind when I joined the African American Student Union at Temple University. Then, of course, I did more research to find out who he was, and I was just blown away.
The entire D.C. police force has been mobilized.
What they really want to destroy is all of us coming together and demanding this country change.
He's a wonderful actor. I'd worked with him in Ma Rainey, and so it was great to work with him again. He brings a passion and an intelligence to his work.
I can't surrender my differences. The world won't let me. I come from the theater, and I think that I've always built a character fully. You'll see that he actually speaks in a higher, readier voice than I have, and so I want to find his pitch in many ways, and his pitch is also a clue to many things about him, about his personality as well. We are committed to altering the trajectory of this country towards freedom. That's what's on the line, nothing less. He was also a very dear friend and comrade to Dr. Martin Luther King. And that was challenging for many people, So I think that the history books sort of did everything they could to try to erase his contribution. Lord, I hope and pray they come today.
Moviefone Spotlight. Snoopy Presents Welcome Home Franklin chronicles the origin story of the first African-American character introduced in the legendary comic strip Peanuts.
Hi, I'm Franklin. I've lived in a lot of different places. My family is always on the move. This was it, our new town.
Our objective in this series, which is a multi-part series from Franklin episodes number 7, was to really take the character that you see on the comic strip, and in this case, it's an origin story. You see where Franklin comes from, and you see him, come to the town where Charlie Brown lives, and we're with him along that journey.
As we embarked on this project together, we began to realize, I think the audience may realize it subconsciously, how similar Franklin and Charlie Brown really are. And it's a great thing when you're dealing with two different races. You start to understand, wow, Franklin's a new kid coming in without friends, hoping to make friends. Charlie Brown's been there, hoping to make friends. And this poor guy, he's been there all 50 years, 60 years, can't make friends.
The big soapbox derby race is coming to town. The winning team gets a trophy and free pizza for a whole year.
What do you think, Charlie Brown? Partners?
Partners.
1968, a very tumultuous period. Kennedy get killed, MLK get killed. LA was on fire with the riots. And here was a school teacher from the Midwest that ended up calling my dad and writing him letters saying, you should introduce a black character in the comic strip, which hadn't been done in any comic strip at that point. His would be the first one to do that.
First of all, not many people in my industry, the whole industry, the cartooning industry, the syndicated cartoons, not many can claim the friendship of Sparky Schultz, Charles Schultz. When he told me in 1994, I want to get your permission for something unusual. I need to assign a last name to Franklin, and I like to use Armstrong. I was blown away, felt unworthy, to the extent that I never told anyone.
Friendships are not perfect, but we can get through the rough spots together. A best friend is someone that you can totally trust, that always has your back.
For me, one of the themes I think is trusting that if you are authentically who you are, you will find the right people. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. This is a lesson Franklin learns. He doesn't know how to be friends with people. He just tries to put on a show. And when he starts to learn that he can just let his guard down, he can be a full-rounded person, and it will bring people to him, the right kind of people. I think that's a great lesson to learn.
Absolutely.
Hey, Franklin, we saved you a seat over here.
You know you found your home when you're surrounded by good friends.
Up next on Moviefone, TV's Black History Month Spotlight, we look at the biographical documentary The Space Race and the Western drama series Lawmen, Bass Reeves. To find out where to watch any movie, check out Moviefone.com. Find it, watch it.
I said to him, I want to make a Buffalo Soldier dreadlock Rasta version of the Lone Ranger.
Moviefone Spotlight. The biographical documentary The Space Race examines the intertwining stories of social justice on Earth and the pioneering journeys of the first black astronauts into space.
Growing up, I loved the space program. But nobody doing that stuff looked like me.
It was a fascinating origin story. This project, of all places, started in Cuba. With the story of the first person of color to fly in space, which was a Cuban, Arnaldo Tamayo Mendez, who also became the first Latino to fly in space.
Around the same time, there was a Cuban who was the first person of color to fly. The Soviets made that history.
We started looking at what was going on in the US at the same time for the US to lose that so-called race. And that really was fascinating.
Very few people today even have a clue about black people's contribution to human spaceflight.
I think the most important structural element for Diego and I was deciding that Ed Dwight was going to be the thread that we were going to pull through time.
It just evolved over time when we heard this piece from Ed, and then that made us go find someone else to find this other piece, and it was just a beautiful evolution of the story.
I was the only black aerospace.
The only black NASA administrator.
The only black officer on space. First black astronaut.
Because they weren't written in history books.
When I was asked to do this, I thought it was the craziest thing in the world. And I had no idea what astronauts did because I was a military officer and a pilot and you know, working very, very hard to keep our country safe. But I got a letter November 4th, 1961, asking me if I wanted to be an astronaut. My mom talked me into doing it. Everybody else said don't, but my mom said do it.
I was told by friends and enemies alike, you're 20 years too soon, buddy.
If you qualify and would like to be an astronaut, now is the time.
You know something happens, but you don't know how it happens. But to find out how things work, then you begin to say, okay, I can do this. Graduated near the top of my class for the classes that we had and all that kind of stuff. And so I just wrapped it around my head and went for it.
Certainly, his journey is one that everyone who followed him, they looked to him and said, we stand on Ed Dwight's shoulders.
Ed definitely paved the way for all of us because he put in the work, he got things rolling. People could actually see that that was something that was possible. He set the foundation and framework for all of us.
To see a black man in space, it would have changed things.
You hear a line in the film by also former NASA astronaut Dr. Bernard Harris. He says, you know, as a young kid growing up, if he had seen that image, he thinks things would have changed. They would have moved the needle in a different way. It's having someone like Ed be part of it so early on in the 60s would have made a huge difference. And because of the timing, Ed would have probably gone to the moon.
Black history is American history. We forget it at our peril.
Moviefone recommends David Oyelowo stars as one of the first black U.S. deputy marshals west of the Mississippi in the first installment of the Western anthology series, Lawmen, Bass Reeves.
You a lawman or an outlaw?
Bit of both, I reckon.
I was familiar with the mythology of Bass Reeves. I grew up in Texas. I heard stories, but those stories were the gunslinging lawman pursuing the most hardened criminals in the Wild West. This sort of iconic black law figure from the era.
I didn't take a dive into it until after we were finished filming. Well, the thing is, all that's out there is the historical, equivalent of history. So I used to always fall asleep in history class, so I didn't want to direct that version. This script, when I was sent this pilot, this was anything but. This was like the story that I would not be able to find in a book. And at that point, for me, it was just a story of like a great man in America's history, as opposed to it being like this historical figure from America.
How do I get to do what you do? You're loyal, and you ain't afraid of much. But the real power lies beneath the badge.
It wasn't until I first sat down with David Oyelowo, and then based on that conversation, when scoured the internet and Amazon and podcasts, that I really began to understand the breadth of the man's life.
Man, David's been in love with this story, right? By the time you get together with him to try and make this, you do realize that. You realize, oh, this guy didn't come to work today just to get a couple of lines right. He, like the rest of us, is chasing the truth right now.
Ready to ride? I thought you'd never ask.
I'm incredibly grateful to Taylor for entrusting me with this opportunity. He gave me an enormous amount of freedom and autonomy.
Working with Taylor, simply put, is like pouring gasoline on my fire. From the time I talked to him and I told him what I thought of the scripts, I told him what I thought of Chad and David, I said to him, I want to make a Buffalo Soldier dreadlock Rasta version of the Lone Ranger. And he said, great, let's do that.
I felt enormous pressure, not only to honor Bass, but to live up to the Taylor Sheridan universe. But I also had great comfort in knowing that that backstop was there to support me.
I'm warning you, your wicked days are done.
Up next on Moviefone, TV's Black History Month Spotlight, we look at the biographical dramas Till and Big George Foreman.
A lot of us just didn't have hope like I did in the beginning, but the movie tells a story of hope.
Find it, watch it. Featuring Chris Davis and Forrest Whitaker, Big George Foreman chronicles the life of one of the most improbable world heavyweight champions of all time.
Listen to me, George. You got a punch like I've never seen. But in every battle, the greatest foe that we will combat isn't here.
You go about your whole life wearing dog glasses, building big fence around your home. You guard your privacy. Then all of a sudden you have to reveal your life. That hasn't been easy.
I mean, he'd been working on the film for quite a while. In fact, it was gonna go, and then it didn't go, and then it went again.
George should change his name from Foreman to Poor Man.
To hurt.
What's my name now, fool?
He is really trying to find somebody who can really hold the performance, who can really act. I was blown away when I saw a picture of him playing Jack Johnson on stage.
I didn't want just a celebrity to play George Foreman or to imitate George Foreman. I needed an actor. This guy, a great actor, he brought George Foreman to the screen.
My first reaction was, why did I audition for this? That's a big responsibility. Oh man, now I really got to do it.
Let's thank God for the food, though.
I bought the food, mama.
George Foreman ain't no new champ. He is the new chump. We gonna get it on because we don't get along.
Foreman goes down!
I'm not Mr. Foreman. I could never be Mr. Foreman. So for me to hold myself to that standard seemed a bit unfair. But what I really wanted to do was do an interpretation of Mr. Foreman's story.
Chris was he's a really talented actor, and he was like totally committed to like embodiment of the character.
Forrest Whitaker brought out probably the most interesting, and really, if there was gonna be a movie star in the movie, it was Doc Broders in my life.
Hey, whoa. Your heart stopped. We thought he was dead.
I was. The early years when he's younger, you know, I had to really rely on my theater background for that. Come on in, enjoy yourself.
Power company said we never paid the bill.
Really? There's only two things I know how to do. That's box and preach. And preaching won't pay the bills. In the second half of the film, I gained 50 pounds in 5 weeks, right? So I went from 225 to 275.
I wanted the audience to see the whole journey of a man who uses his fists to solve his problems, to using his mind, and how you can change things.
You made me something once, Doc. You can do it again. It is my destiny to win the heavyweight championship belt again. But then you get into the fighting aspect of it, and we treated it like it was a fight camp. My coach, Daryl Foster, said, Chris, we're gonna treat this like you're fighting for the heavyweight title belt.
We had to do it right. So the first thing was devising a plan to really choreograph the fight to a T.
Last time they saw me, I looked like Superman.
So now you look like the Michelin Man. This ain't no beauty contest.
I had to make that kind of sacrifice and commitment for such a legendary story, for such a legendary individual.
A lot of us just didn't have hope like I did in the beginning, but the movie tells a story of hope.
It's now, or it's never.
In case you missed it, the historical drama Till, starring Danielle Deadweiler, chronicles the journey a grieving mother took to become the catalyst of the modern-day civil rights movement.
I got a letter today from Auntie Lizzie. She said Bo's been working the fields. Can't imagine. Oh, he just doesn't understand how different things are in Mississippi. Are you listening?
Yes.
Be small down there.
Everyone knows about this. Well, not everyone. Unfortunately, not everyone knows about the story. But those who do know only know a little bit, a tiny fraction of who he was. Or not even who he was, but what happened to him that changed the world, that started revolutions.
I want to talk to you about that boy.
They've come for you. Hello?
This is Mamie's story. This is about Mamie's journey and her point of view. For without Mamie, the world wouldn't know who Emmett Till was. And so I knew from the very beginning that that was how I had to tell the narrative.
This project is a continuum, a part of a continuum of my experience in being a recipient of the legacy of civil rights, and from women who are unsung in a way that Mamie Till is unsung. And so all of that connects to Mamie Till in that Dr. King was deeply impacted by her, Rosa Parks deeply impacted by her, by the choices that she made at this time.
The body of Emmett Lewis Till has been found dead.
Can I at least just fix him up a bit?
No, they have to see it for themselves.
You know, the challenges was making sure that I honor her humanity as much as possible and honor the humanities of everybody. And I was just very mindful and intentional about that.
But hopefully just knowing the love and unity that was shown between Emmett and his mother, and seeing the love and unity that was not shown from others in Mississippi at that time, and seeing the love and unity around people and where this came and where it will go in the future.
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
Stay tuned. There's more coming up on Moviefone TV's Black History Month Spotlight. Thanks for watching Moviefone TV's Black History Month Spotlight. To find out where to watch any movie, check out Moviefone.com. Find it, watch it.